Awesome.
Hello.
Okay. Hey, Erin, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Your background threw me off for a second there.
Yeah, I had to make myself look good somehow. Um, so starting with your audition, as Flag Smasher, who's obviously different from how he is in the comics, was there anything that you wanted to do? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time you're playing a villain, but was there anything that you did specifically in your audition that you thought maybe helped you land the role ultimately?
Honestly, it was really difficult because I didn't know what I was auditioning for. I knew that it was Marvel, but I didn't know the character or anything like that. I didn't know that she would necessarily be a villain or anything. So they had given me direction on like how to play it, but it was quite tricky to play it a certain type of way when I didn't really understand what was happening.
Yeah. So like you're coming off of Solo a couple years ago, and then so like that's the Star Wars universe. And now you're entering the Marvel. So how did that experience make like working on that blockbuster film inform like your process on this one?
I think it probably made me like the scene, the set, sorry, and the way that they shoot and the size of the production, like even just down to how many people are working on these productions, they're very similar. And I feel like having been on Star Wars, it prepped me for Marvel because I'd kind of it is different, but I had kind of done it before, like I'd kind of been on these big sets with people that I've seen on TV before.
Yeah,
And so yeah, I guess it kind of prepared me in that way.
awesome. And so like when once you found out that the role was a Flag Smasher, Karli, were you did you like look to the comics at all, or did you sort of just were you allowed to like have more freedom with how you created her? Because it's the first time we're ever seeing her.
So the freedom was definitely there. They were really cool about that. But I did look into Carl specifically. I didn't go ahead and read any of like a full comic or anything like that. But I researched his character a little bit. But I did want to stay. I wanted to read it and understand the basics of him, but I also wanted to stay away a little bit because they are so different now, and she has been rewritten into this whole different person. So um, I didn't want to get the two mixed up.
Yeah, yeah. And like you like myself, like we both sort of grew up on this Marvel movies. Like, so were there any like villain performances that you sort of looked to for to draw like a little bit of inspiration?
Um, it's tricky because I feel like Carly is she is quite different from your typical villain. Everything that she, and I guess Thanos as well had a similar thing. Like he was essentially he was trying to do a good thing. He didn't need to get rid of 50% of the world's population,
Yeah,
but instead that was the right thing to happen in order for people to have a good community, that it was to get rid of half of the world's population. So I guess him in a way, it's quite similar in that the root of what Carly's doing is for a good thing, and it's for a good cause. But I do think it is a bit different because I feel like hers makes a little bit more sense.
yeah,
She's not trying to get rid of 50% again. She's just trying to make things work more smoothly and have more equality amongst society.
yeah. And like I think Malcolm said, the most dangerous villain is often the one that who believes that what they're doing is right. So like
Yeah.
the next episode's sort of gonna reintroduce Baron Zemo. So could you like maybe touch on like what your dynamic is with that character if you guys interact at all?
I think you're just gonna have to wait and see for that one. I don't want to give any spoilers. I don't want to hint at anything. Yeah.
No, understandable. And so, like in the comics, your character has a very distinct costume,
Mhm.
and like so do you get a chance to wear anything similar, or maybe even wield the mace?
No, all of Carly, then this is how I feel like they're different as well. She's very low maintenance and just trying to get the job done, keep her head down. She hasn't really got time for fancy clothes or fancy hair. She's just trying to lay low and get the job
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's sort of this like we see like that one character sacrifice himself so Carly can get away with, and because he really believed like there's also this like cult like belief in her that something what they're doing is the right thing on what the world should be going toward. So what can you tease for us about like where what Karli actually wants to achieve ultimately with, because it's kind of like with the power broker and everything, it's a little muddled at the moment.
I think essentially what she's trying to achieve is, so when 50% of the world's population disappeared, the 50% that remained kind of came together and worked together and unified a little more because of the loss of their friends and family. So that's what she's trying to get back to. She's trying to, have people work together a little more and not have the borders closed. And she thinks that everything that happened during the blip was the best way to live. And so she's trying to support people who are now affected by everybody coming back, whilst also trying to convey her fight and say that it was so much better during the blip compared to how it is now.
And so like power, like Captain America is your primary antagonist, and like now it's Bucky and Sam. So, but like in the comics, your character also squares off with like Moon Knight, Punisher. Was there any one of these characters like that you'd like just wish fulfillment would want to square up against?
Actually, this is another thing. This is another reason that they're so different. I don't feel like Karli wants to square up against anybody. I think
Yeah.
she's just she doesn't want to fight. That's not what she wants to do. She just wants to, get vaccines and medical supplies and food to people who need it. And she's ultimately stealing, which is obviously a problem. And she was
Hmm.
compared to Robin Hood in episode 2. But she doesn't want to fight anybody. She just wants to support people.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't want to hold you for too long, but I guess there's a movie that you're in that I'm really looking forward to, but The Green Knight. So is there anything you're allowed to tell us about that? I know it's coming soon.
Mhm.
Um, about your character in that or anything?
Oh, God, it was so long since I filmed it. My character in that is very mysterious and kind of hard to figure out, honestly. I'm not in it for that long, but when I'd read the script, I luckily we had time to like go over it and so I could fully understand her. But yeah, she's I feel like there's going to be a lot of theories about her. She's a
Awesome.
pretty
Yeah.
cool
No,
character.
Dave Patel. Yeah, I love Dave Patel. He's the guy back in college that you used to get a date. But uh no, I'm just joking. But you also have the thing about the mysterious element. Like your characters are very mysterious. Enfys Nest, Karli, like you said in the Green Knight. So is that just something like is that something like a hidden talent that you kind of like realized once you got on screen, or is that just something that your characters that draws you to a character?
Um, yeah, I think I am drawn to characters like that. I think it's no fun playing a one-dimensional character. I like playing people that have got a lot of layers to them, that there's something to question about them. If they were everything they appeared to be, it'd be pretty boring.
Well, thank you so much, Aaron. Really appreciate it. I loved you in episode 2, and I can't wait to see more.
Thank you so much. It's been nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you.